Cory, I don't think we need to really introduce who you are, but for anybody who doesn't know who you are, welcome to iSigma on Air. But secondly, who are you and what the heck do you do in the world?
I'm the general manager with BINS4 Shredding. Been in the document destruction industry for nearly 20 years. We are a designer, manufacturer, and distributor of secure containers for paper, e-waste, and product destruction.
So cool. So how long have you been around this? You said 20 years?
Yeah, I think it was around 2002, I think, is when I first really dipped my foot into the pond and never got back out. So
right. So it's kind of like mafia, isn't it, in a weird way? It's like once you're in, you can't get out, and you try and get out, but you get pulled back in, and I don't know what it is. I can't get myself out of this crazy place. In fact, it seems like every year there's more to do.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about culture of a business, but this is culture of an industry.
Yeah.
I've never heard of an industry that is so willing to help and grow and build each other up. So it's a pretty unique one for sure.
Yeah. No, we've really been I don't know. I say blessed. I don't know if that's a good word, but I feel like this industry has been really good to you. It's been good to me, and we've got some gray hairs on our head now, and well, you have a lot.
I know. Thanks. I started this when I was like 20 something. Right. I don't know.
Right. So BINS4 Shredding, what kind of cool, interesting stuff are you guys doing these days?
What we're doing is we're trying to look at operational efficiency. We're trying to make sure that when the drivers start at the age of 20, they continue on and be able to be a service provider for many years. You're looking at safety, efficiency, just trying to make everyone's job better. So one of the reasons why we come here is to find pain points. What hurts a driver, what slows down a driver, what makes your route less efficient. So we try and take that data back, build stuff, and then put it out in the field and let them try it out and test it and let us know what they think.
So by that, you mean like ergonomic design? Do you mean like how a handle pulls? Because fundamentally the equipment is pretty much, there's mostly standard shapes like a bin, a console, but
right.
Like when you talk about, you come and hear things and you go back and design stuff, like what kind of design process are you going through? Like, is it those minor things or is it significant changes? Like, are you coming out with brand new equipment that's never been seen before? What are you doing? Give me some insight into what you're doing.
Yeah, some of the minor changes makes a huge impact over time. So for instance, for decades, people have been using a nylon bag in a console.
Right.
You're bent right over, squatting down, reaching in really deep,
right,
and swinging the bag up to the edge.
And you got to pull it off the hooks.
Pull it off the hooks, put it back on the hooks. It spends a lot of time and energy. Years ago, we developed a rigid plastic liner.
Right.
So people say bags get lost, bags get ripped, the paper overflows, it's a mess, it takes a lot of time, and the people's backs are sore. With this, there's a lot less bending. You pull it in one motion, tip it up, very ergonomic. Just makes their drive time. It cuts the service time down by about 60%.
Yeah.
A lot less wear and tear, and no more replacement for bags. And it's plastic, so it's 100% recyclable.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what kind of interesting new things did you pick up at this? We're right at the end of the event, and like, did you get any? Did you hear anything that makes you go, we should do some design work, or I might be, trade secret stuff. So something that's not trade secret, but what kind of interesting insights have you picked up at this conference?
I think more of a trend that we've seen over the last couple, but there's more focus, of course, on AI, which affects all companies. But as far as products specific, more e-waste and ITAD direction.
Do you guys have collection containers for the e-waste and ITAD side of it?
We do. But one of the main reasons why we come here is to find out everything that we don't know yet.
Right.
So people are actually making suggestions. Some are really out there, but some of them, I think, that's feasible. Let's draw it up and let's bring it to market. Let's see what people think about it. So I think that this is really core to understand what people need. We can design 100 containers, but if they don't meet the requirements, it doesn't make any sense. So we're hearing from the experts in the field and telling us exactly what they need, and we're just trying to make it as great and durable and as efficient as possible for them. So
I've never asked this question before, but I've often thought about it. Like, with the wide range, because I mean, we all know you're not the only one in the game.
Yes.
Playing this game, but we're all friendly competitors, and most of you are Canadian.
Don't hold us against.
But let's just like, what's the best selling single piece of collection stuff that is it the console, or is it like a 65, or is it 95? Like, generally speaking, what you know, and if you consolidate you and all your competitors, what's the thing that sells the most in the world for collection stuff?
Still to this day, it's consoles.
Is it? Okay.
There used to be a lot more plant-based. A lot of people were very focused on plant-based, and it worked really well. So there's a lot of cart swap out. You bring in an empty cart, swap it out. Now people are focusing more on mobile. I know some national accounts do really well with the plant-based, but you pretty much have to cater to what the industry or the end user is looking for. So a lot of it is mobile. So you do 60, 70% consoles and the balance being carts.
Okay.
So we've tried to focus on innovations that are longer lasting, plastic, recyclable, things of that nature, cutting down carbon, a lot of things that it wasn't really the forefront, but now you get into things where it's governments and schools and environmental concerns where they've got sustainability committees.
Right.
You're outfitting an entire healthcare facility and they're saying, we have an RFP out, but how are you different? So we're trying to provide those different aspects that you can actually win a bid or become more cost effective as well. So
yeah. It's interesting over the years. A number of years ago, what was his? I'm trying to think of his name. He built he actually patented it. It was like a weight thing at the bottom of a shred container. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
I know the product. I can't remember the gentleman's name. Yes.
Yeah. I know his name, and I can't. He's a boater. I know that.
It's the gray hairs.
But I've often wondered because that seemed like such an interesting concept, but it never went. And like things like that, like based on you being in the industry so long and being in this business, like why would something like that work or not work? Like what's your sense of that? Is it because the cost of that piece of equipment would be so high? Like I'm just theorizing with you, and we're having coffee and we're talking.
Right.
But like not discounting that the guy was he's brilliant in what he built, but nobody bought it.
Right.
So what would your perception be of why that wouldn't go? Is it cost of equipment? Because you guys have you and the other vendors have become really good at going, well, how do we get the best product at the door at the price that, people will keep buying, obviously.
Right. I think that there's been some challenges up to this point. I think it's closer. There has been talk of bin technology, whether it's a weight process or whether it's, the fill lines where you can actually tell how full a bin is to whether it's serviced or not. So
like different kind of sensors maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like an eye or something that says,
it was
this high.
Cost prohibitive would be the main one. Now it's getting better and closer to it. There's little challenges where if a piece of paper is upright, it falls negative, so you can't tell if it's actually full or it appears to be full. The other one was whether you needed to tap into someone's local Wi-Fi connection. Maybe if you go into a building, they don't want you to use their Wi-Fi. So there's little things, but I think we're pretty close. And there's been a few discussions, and if that comes about, I'm sure myself and all the vendors will adopt it with welcome arms and figure out what's going to make the industry better. So
no, I mean that's what we're always trying to do is how do we make things better around here. So what are you most excited about in terms of what you see ahead in the next few years? Like what's really making you go, oh man, I can't wait for this to start happening or this to unfold? What's the thing that gets you the most excited?
I think that there's a big change going on right now. Back in the day, a lot of people just did shredding, and they did well at it, and they did really well. Now they've got to diversify and figure out different tiered, vertical markets and different tiers of their service, whether it's shred all programs, residential shredding, as I said before, ITAD and e-waste. So they're trying to figure out what they need to do and how they can do it. So we're helping through the education learning as well. So it's becoming the vendors and the consumers talking and really sharing ideas, becoming more of a partnership.
Yeah.
That's really cool because it's fun and we get to be part of that process and work with them to design something and really have their input. So that I'm really excited about because it's fun. You get to the real details of what their business requires, and you build it together.
So how does a product company like yours think about and use AI related to this? I mean, it's an intriguing question to me because I just taught a vibe coding lab, and I'm helping people to think, can you use AI for cool things? Like, how are you guys using AI in your world now?
I call my daughter. She's very well versed in AI and different aspects of it. So I'm dabbling it right now. I'm playing it. I wish I'd been able to make to the lab that you had, but I'm really trying to understand what it can do. So I think for us, as far as internally, we'll be using it for sales, not so much talking with people, but making sure we coordinate and understand the data better. Which is what a lot of the companies will be doing right now. I think it's just getting to test it, play with it, understand it. Don't rely on it, but know it's a tool just like any other tool you have in the tool belt. And I just want to learn more. And
I just wondered if you guys had any kind of interesting stuff you're doing with that. So what didn't we talk about that you wanted to talk about?
The biggest thing I think I want to talk about is I want to talk to everyone and let them know we need more feedback and understand what challenges they have. There's so much change going on right now, and people are nervous about what to do, take the next step. We want to be a part of that and find the solution. So we can't create the innovation without feedback. So we want to hear from people, understand what they need, work together and develop something and really help them grow their business because it is a challenging time. It used to be 1 or 2 challenges you had to deal with. Now it seems like it's 15 or 20. So if we can kind of narrow that down, but without the input, we can't do it as good of a job as we'd like to. So,
and you guys have, with the connection to Craig and his design sensibilities, he always wears good shirts too. But yeah, I mean that's a cool part of what you guys have built together is a almost like a symbiotic partnership with different the different group of companies that you're all related to, which then creates almost like it's more than just you in the game, right? I mean, am I saying that right?
Yeah, I'd say that, and I think what we've tried to do is product leadership. So you try and come out with really innovative products and really push that forward. And then when you start tweaking it, then you're looking at operational efficiency and operational excellence. One thing we've always really had is customer intimacy, where we really try and connect and be responsive and make sure we help those people out. But I think with the product leadership has been one of Craig's strengths. I mean, I've worked with Craig for 30 years.
Yeah, I know.
And he's very much an entrepreneur, and he's out there. And sometimes we've got to pull him down like a balloon floating away. But he loves creating the stuff. He's like a kid in a candy store. So
and that's where it's so I realize he's a part of many companies, but the cool part is he is always like in his recycling division, in his recycling company, Bush Systems. He's always been cutting edge in terms of the way he thinks about product, and you guys have obviously benefited greatly from his involvement in helping you create innovative product.
Absolutely.
Through that very cool relationship you have. One question I had, and I wonder if people, because of just the current geopolitical stuff, how are you guys impacted or influenced by, say, what's, because plastic injection molding, how much is dependent on oil getting through the strait? Like, does that ultimately affect you, or is that not really an issue?
It does to a small degree currently.
Okay.
It's one of those things we're keeping a close eye on. Diesel price is obviously, everyone's going to be challenged by that. Some of the plastic products, because of the way it's produced right now and because of our relationships and agreements with plastic, we've got a bit of a window. So if there is a crash in the marketplace, we won't really be impacted. If it goes long term, then every industry will be impacted. But we have set ourselves up with really strong partners and really good supply chains. Our product is almost 100% North American. We've got really strong partnerships in that respect. So
that's cool.
Fingers crossed. It's
but and I've always wanted to have these conversations, not because I'm trying to get you to disclose, but that's the questions that come up for a lot of people when there's sort of a big world.
Right.
And you know, when you don't know that business, you know, when you're driving a truck, you go, well, diesel's affecting me. But when I use your product and you manufacture that product, like there's a whole world that I never ever see. And there's all these pieces and parts to a manufacturing versus a service business. Right. And you guys live, as much as you intersect with us in the shredding and records and information management industry, you have a very different way that you have to look at the world than we do as in the inside of the world, driving shred trucks and collection, collection trucks. You're a manufacturer of product that requires injection molding and all the stuff you do, but that has this whole backfill of supply chain that makes that work. And I weirdly, I was thinking about it when I was thinking about our conversation today. I was going, I wonder how that works, which is, if we were having coffee, I'd ask you the same question. So I think we covered everything, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
It's always changing, but I mean, I always love sitting down and chatting with you and just, being able to share with people and coming down to these shows and really just experiencing the whole thing. So it's a lot of fun always.
Well, it's great to have you here. Safe travels home. Thank you for being the second to last podcast guest today. And safe travels. Great to see you again.
Thanks. Great seeing you as well.